a significant California artist by Chenyi Lin. Frank Lloyd Wright is considered as the greatest architect of the 20th century. He perfectly distinguished American styles of architecture and emphasized the simplicity and nature beauty. He is an architect, interior designer, educator, and writer. Frank Lloyd has designed more than 1,100 buildings during his lifetime, in which one-third of the buildings are designed during the last decade. All over his career, Frank Lloyd created numerous iconic buildings, and his work included original and innovative examples of many buildings, churches, schools, skyscrapers, museums, and hotels in the US and in California. Wright always believed in designing structures that were in harmony with humanity and with the philosophy which he called as organic architecture, and it was best exemplified in many of innovative famous buildings like Falling Water Building 1935. The design of many of his homes once seemed light for the artist during that period, but most of all modern constructors now put the ideals which he thought to be so important. Frank Lloyd Wright is first known for his period style of architecture, which incorporated low-pitched roofs, overhanging eaves, a center chimney, overhanging eaves, and open floor plans, which he believed was disclosed in architecture of the Victoria era. Later on, he went on to establish the textile style, which took on an even more linear approach, with influence from Maya architecture that led to the way to organic architecture, which draw from the combination of nature resource and the influence of Japanese architecture. Finally, the organic style led way to the Ausonian style. Frank Lloyd was a big promoter of promoting the art, nature, and values with his designs, which reflects the harmony and humanity. His love on the art and nature reflected in his buildings, particularly shapes, form, and colors patterns of plant life. One such good example is Falling Water House, designed by Frank Lloyd, which was built over a waterfall. Falling Water, one of the Wright's greatest work, was designed for H. Kaufman in southwestern Pennsylvania, which hangs over a waterfall using the architectural device known as an cantilever. In his design, Wright has described his architectural style as organic in harmony with nature. This house was designed in such a way that it doesn't even appear to stand on solid ground, but stretches over a waterfall. I would say Falling Water opened up a new chapter in American architecture. The Falling Water architecture has the styling integration of the stone walls anchored to the bedrock of the concrete terrace hovering in space. Despite the design, the architecture seized the imagination of even the great critics of the modern movement in architecture. Wright further emphasized the connection with nature by using glass, and house had no walls facing the wall but has only a central stone crawl for the fireplace and stone columns. The work Frank Lloyd Wright did in California was very significant. In fact, out of the 70 Frank Lloyd Wright structures designed by the American Institute of Architects of most representative contribution to American culture, 3 are located in California. They are Hollyhock House, the V.C. Morris gift shop in San Francisco, and Hannah House in Pattaya. Most of the design of Wright in California were private residences, but he has also created office buildings, shop, and government center in California. Most of Frank Lloyd Wright's public buildings are in Los Angeles, San Francisco, San Rafael, and Redding. The famous Hollyhock House in California was designed in 1917 by Frank Lloyd and was built between 1919 and 1923. The design of this complex came from Bachstel's favorite flower, the hollyhock, a tall stem plant with flowers running up the stems. Wright has used many architectural styles where he used textile blocks throughout the house. Wright designed this house stepped squarely on the hilltop to take advantage of the nice views of the Los Angeles basin by breaking the rule of house should not be on top of the hill. The V.C. Morris gift shop in San Francisco was designed by Wright in 1948 with distinctly arched brickwork. It was intended to lure passerby into the shop air interior. The design includes elements found in the Guggenheim Museum. The shop was built first even though the museum design came first. The V.C. Morris gift shop is only Frank Lloyd Wright building in the city of San Francisco, and it is also recognized by the American Institute of Architects as one of 17 Wright buildings that best represent of his contribution to American culture. The Marine Counter Civic Center, located in San Rafael, California, is another masterpiece from Frank Lloyd Wright. He designed the administration building and Hall of Justice in one 40-acre complex with two wings that span across three small hills. Those wings are made to lend their curves to the entire structure's design scheme. The intersection is topped with an 80-foot wide dome and edged with arcades. In this building, Wright used much symbolism to embody his philosophy of government. His design was so timelessly modern that the building was used in the films. Frank Lloyd Wright was a visionary and controversial artist. He was famous for his beliefs and convictions. His foresight and ideas always continue to be as inspiration for all the artists and artisans to today. Later in his life, after his death, Wright has received many awards as honorary recognition for this life achievement. Frank Lloyd is a very significant artist because I feel architecture is perhaps the truest documentation of how civilization has lived and evolved. On looking at today's modern house, which has straight lines, wide open space, low roofs, and on looking at how seamlessly they are integrated with the variety of geographies and landscapes, there is no doubt that we can see a little bit of Frank Lloyd Wright in each of these structures. Though most of the Wright's work can be found in codes, it is of no surprise that Wright's organic and geometric design principles fit right in California's lifestyle, culture, and environment. The significance of California art. The sense of place is one of the most compelling themes in California's art. The California Gold Rush, which lasts from 1848 to 1850, was the state's defining event. During this period, California offered more to discover than just the mineral wealth. Because of California's favorable climate and abundant resources along with the atmosphere for opportunity and reinvention, California has become a favorite destination for tourists, settlers, and business. The gold rush of 1849 attracted artists from the East Coast, some to prospect, some others to create illuminaries for magazines and books. The artists who arrived during the gold rush period provide a fascinating glimpse of the mid-19th century California life. First in rank among these artists was Charles Christian Lin, and he is considered as the artist of the gold rush. Charles Christian Lin was witness the gold rush period with some stunning portraits during this period. Sunday Morning in the Mine has given a fascinating glimpse of this period. There are many other artists like Nathaniel Carrier, the popular American lithographer and publisher, best portrayed the gold fever during this period. One of his artwork depicts a dock-with sailing ship departure as a crowd of miners attempt to jump aboard. The gold rush was hence the defining event in California's history. With the discovery of such wealth and the wave of humanity followed, an expansion has begun. The artwork are very significant, which identify and provided biographies of the artists who produced the work that reflected California's phenomenon development from 1870 to 1940. California's beauty can be summarized by artists with its diverse and contrasting topographies like majestic mountains, large meadows, rolling sandstones, verdant marshes, stately forests, and rich hued desert. Even the decorative writings for books about California reinforce the image of abundance and beauty. California Indian basket making was considered as the finest art in the world. Homo basket are considered as the finest example of the art form within the California tradition. Basket weavers used to harvest their materials like grasses, sticks, from the area in which they live. Culling and twinning are the two most common styles of basket making by native Californians. Ingredients California was considered as one of the most culturally diverse regions in the world, with more than 500 communities and 80 different language groups. The significance of California art is in my artworks. For example, the most important symbol of California is gold. Known as the Golden State since California Gold Rush period, California was also named as Golden Mountain by Chinese who immigrated to California. Artists consider gold as not only the symbol of its mineral wealth, but also the symbol of its climate, its state flower, its agricultural wealth, and even its oil. Since agriculture has become new lure for settlers and tourists aftermath the gold rush, artists thought no image conveyed this more clearly than the orange. Artists always consider the contrast in wealth between California and other parts of the country. In addition, artists also use metaphor to represent California and California traditions and culture. Artists use metaphor as the substitution of their ideas with another, and it is often used as a teaching tool to convey different topics. Orange crate labels, first produced in the late 19th century, become one of the most successful ways to promote a product and disseminate a version of sunny, wholesome life in California. Each grower produced a unique image and brand name that could easily be recognized by buyers when the crates reached their market in the Midwest and on the East Coast. There are many artists who made the art of California very significant. One good example is the artwork from Frank LaPena. His artwork is very significant in conveying the whole of the native California's lifestyle and culture in a single artwork. In his artwork, Frank LaPena exerted the artist's license in his portrait of a deer dancer. To conclude, California has always been the land that inspired the imagination from the time of the first Native Americans through the years of settlement to the present. The California art and artists best represent the story of art of California as many fascinating chapters like Age of Explorations, the Gold Rush period, the Railroad, the Golden Age of landscape painting, influence of European art, evolution of arts in Southern and Northern California to modernism and beyond. The artworks of California painters have always been among the top ranks of American artists, best represent the lifestyle, development, and the culture of